Biohacking Conference. Some of the brightest minds in the world are here. Something historic is happening today, and I'm standing at the center of it. Touchstone Essentials just launched a breakthrough product that could change the way we age forever. This isn't just about looking younger, this is about living stronger and longer. For your family, for your future, for the mission you haven't finished yet. I'm here and I'll be documenting everything. The insights, the interviews, the breakthroughs. Because this week, we're not just watching change, we're part of it.
Hello everyone, I'm Sonny Nguyen and I've been biohacking for 16 years. I've been following Dr. Bill Andrews, the world-renowned researcher on aging. And when you were young, your father said, son, aging is a disease. And you started studying everything about how we age, why we age. You became a researcher, scientist. You own Sierra Sciences with over 50 patents. And you are also an ultra marathon runner. You're 72 years young. You're still running. And
73.
Yes. And you also help many companies create different products, inventions. And we're here to talk about the Telo-Vital, why are you excited about this telomere support product?
Because it's the first product that actually works. Okay, when I say works, I mean the ingredients in this actually do induce the production of telomeres inside of human cells. None of the other products did that. Okay, people would measure telomeres and say that telomeres got a little bit longer, but they didn't really understand the telomere biology enough to know that there's other ways to make telomeres longer besides lengthening them. Okay, in fact, harsh treatments like toxins and immunogenic compounds, they actually cause the population of cells in your blood to change by bringing in cells that have longer telomeres from elsewhere, or getting rid of cells that have short telomeres by the cells with short telomeres being more sensitive to toxins. And as a result, your telomeres get longer without any lengthening. The analogy I like is if you have a company and you fire all the dumbest people in your company, the average IQ of your company goes up without anybody getting any smarter. Same if you just hired a bunch of really smart people. The average IQ of your company goes up without anybody getting smarter. Well, the same thing's happening with your telomeres, and that's why these other products work. You take the treatments, it's getting rid of the cells with short telomeres, it's adding new cells with long telomeres. And by the way, when you add cells with new long telomeres, other cells had to divide to make those. And so the result is your overall telomeres in your whole body get shorter. So all these products, they don't really work. They actually accelerate aging, not the reverse of that. Telo-Vital, I've been working on this for so many years. This is the first product that actually does induce telomerase to actually lengthen telomeres. Now, I don't want to make false claims, but it is not potent enough to actually reverse aging. Telomere shortening and lengthening like a tug of war. And so this is adding people to the pulling side to lengthen, but it's still not winning the tug of war, but it's sure slowing it down. So it's extending, it's decreasing the rate of telomere shortening, therefore decreasing the rate of aging.
So I've been learning so many over a decade from you. When telomeres get short, bad things happen. And as we grow older, things like gray hair, wrinkles, loss of memory, poor eyesight, muscle atrophy, skeletal atrophy, low energy, weight gain, and about 26 degenerate aging diseases associated with telomere shortening. Can you share with me on why you're so excited about some of the ingredients in here that could potentially assist the body to become that miracle?
Well, it's the first product that really does slow down the aging process. And so wrinkles and all these other things that you just mentioned, they're all going to be delayed. Okay. Now, a plus to that, even though I said this isn't potent enough to reverse aging, we do know that it produces enough telomerase to actually lengthen the shortest telomeres. It turns out the shorter the telomere, the easier it is to lengthen. So the shortest telomeres could get lengthened. So if you're somebody over like 50 years old, that has already built up a lot of cells that have short telomeres, critically short telomeres, this will actually show some signs of age reversal in you, because when you lengthen those shorter telomeres, you do see better endurance, at least from studies we've already seen. People get, their endurance improves, their vision improves, hair color comes back sometimes. Sometimes your hair color changes for reasons that have nothing to do with telomeres. So if you're one of those people, this isn't going to help you, your hair color coming back. But it does, people are going to see some age reversal stuff, especially if they're over 50, from just lengthening the critically short telomeres, even though their longer telomeres will still get a little bit shorter.
Fantastic. I want to talk about your company, Sierra Science, that you created. And with all the technology and research that you've done with so many scientists around the world, including Nobel Prize winning scientists, you mentioned that you truly believe that you could cure aging if you have enough funding within 3 years. Why do you say that?
Because we've done so much work with chemicals and nutraceuticals, and we've tested over 500,000 different chemicals. Some of them were randomly tested, some of them we designed based on previous data that we'd gotten from the random hits that we found. We've been finding, so we found over 900 different things that induce telomerase. And the more screening we do, the more and more potent things we find, especially when we also have the ability to design new molecules based on the data from the old ones. And so when I extrapolate from our history of doing all this screening, I can see that in 1 to 3 years, we will have, if the rate continues like it is, in 1 to 3 years, we will have something potent enough to actually reverse aging. Well, why isn't it? Well, I said this 3 years ago too, but the problem is that it costs us $2 million a month to do this screening. Okay, and so raising that funding has become more and more difficult, especially with the onset of COVID and things like that. It's been really hard to find the funding to do that. And I'm thinking the best way to come up with the funding. The other problem with funding is we can find investors, but then the investors want me to start selling something, get away from the lab, because I'm so well known in the anti-aging field. They think that if I start marketing a product for them, they'll sell it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to market products that don't work. I want to do research and find something that does work. So I need to find a way to bring in funding that keeps me in control. So selling a product, having Touchstone sell a product like Telo-Vital allows me to get some funding that I'm in complete control, that goes 100% towards the research, because my real goal is to cure my own aging. And it's taken me a lot longer than I thought because of the funding issues, because we know exactly what to do. The science is straightforward. I know that if we had enough money, funding to do the research, we could have something potent enough to cure aging in 1 to 3 years.
So excited about that, Dr. Bill, and it's an honor and a pleasure. So if anybody wants to learn more about your science and your research, your website is Sierra Science. How do you spell that? Sierra Science?
So SIERRA, and Sciences, SCIENCES. And my website is www.sierrasci.com. So it's short for Sierra Sciences. So SIERRASCI.com.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bill. You changed my life. I appreciate you.
You've changed my life too. Thank you.